Rome, 3rd century AD, a city carved in stone, fire and conquest, ruled by men of war, discipline, and divine blood. But one day the unthinkable happened. A 14-year-old boy from Syria was placed on the imperial throne. His name was Elagabalus, and Rome had never seen, and would never again see an emperor like him. From the very beginning, he shocked the Senate and disgusted the generals. He didn't ride horses into battle or strategize for war. Instead, he preferred chariots pulled by elephants. He wore silken gowns, bathed in rose petals, painted his eyes with coal and gold dust. And instead of arming the legions, he gifted them with perfume. Where the Roman emperors had claimed to be gods, Elagabalus desired to become a goddess. He didn't just dress like a woman, he lived as one. He referred to himself as a lady, asked to be called empress, and married multiple men. Yes, married, openly, in front of the whole Roman world. Julia Missa, his grandmother, and the true ruler of Rome, had him wed to a series of young men. Officially, these were same-sex marriages, a Roman institution where two men could wed to form a partnership. But it wasn't about partnership for Elagabalus. He craved intimacy, connection, and used marriage to get it. The first man he took as his husband was Heracles, a chariot driver whom he met when he was only 12 years old. The boy was captivated by the handsome, muscular athlete and showered him with jewels, gold, and most importantly, affection. Their relationship was scandalous, but it was clear to all who saw them together that the boy was in love. Soon after marrying Heracles, Elagabalus took another husband, Zodicus, a freed slave with a taste for luxury. This was unprecedented, unheard of in Roman history. An emperor with two husbands. But to those who knew Elagabalus, it wasn't surprising. He wanted to experience everything, to feel every emotion life had to offer. So he married for love and foreknowledge, and he loved and learned from both of his husbands. With Heracles, he experienced the joy of giving and devotion. And with Zodicus, he explored the depths of his own desires. But Elagabalus didn't stop there. He craved intimacy of all kinds. He surrounded himself with lovers, both male and female, and he wasn't afraid to show them off. While most Roman emperors kept prostitutes for their pleasure, Elagabalus paraded his lovers through the streets, hand in hand with him. He hosted parties inviting 8 handsome young men of a particular type, bald, short, or fat. Once he unleashed poisonous snakes into the audience at the gladiator games and watched with amusement as the crowds panicked and fell victim to poisonous bites. Another time, he unleashed poisonous snakes into the audience at the chariot races, relishing in the confusion and chaos that ensued. Elagabalus was not just breaking rules, he was rewriting them, burning the script and laughing as he danced in the ashes. But in a world not ready to accept him, betrayal was inevitable. He unleashed poisonous snakes into the audience at the gladiator games and watched with amusement as the crowds panicked and fell victim to poisonous snake bites. Another time, he unleashed poisonous snakes into the audience at the chariot races, relishing in the confusion and chaos that ensued. While some historians portray him as an eccentric, spoiled teenager, Elagabalus was a visionary leader who introduced groundbreaking reforms. He established the Antonine School, a prestigious academy that attracted students from across the empire. He reformed the imperial administration, introducing accounting rules and regulations to ensure transparency and efficiency. He also commissioned the construction of public works such as aqueducts and public baths, which improved the quality of life for ordinary Romans. Despite his accomplishments, Elagabalus is best remembered for his personal life. He delighted in throwing extravagant feasts, hosting 8 bald, short or fat men at a time. He lavished expensive gifts on his attendants and freed many slaves, granting them luxurious villas and estates. He was known for his love of gold, which he used to decorate his palaces and chariots. He also had a passion for hunting wild animals, which he kept in his own private zoo. He chained chariots to form massive convoys that stretched 4 miles. For miles. Most shockingly, Elagabalus began dressing as a woman and prostituted himself at night on the palace steps, desiring to fully experience the world around him. He walked through the imperial palace wearing wigs and tiaras, danced with eunuchs and male lovers, and even offered himself at night on the palace steps, wanting to understand what it meant to be truly feminine, to be desired, to be touched, to feel. But the old Roman ways were dying hard. Persecution and murder were commonplace. Christians and Jews were routinely targeted, and Elagabalus, with his decadent ways and rejection of Roman norms, was seen as a threat. Enemies of the emperor plotted in the shadows, waiting for their chance to strike. And when it came, it was swift and brutal. At just 18 years old, Elagabalus was assassinated by his own guards, stabbed to death in his mother's arms. His body was dragged through the streets of Rome, humiliated, and dumped in the Tiber River like trash. He was erased from the imperial records, forgotten, buried under centuries of mockery. His memory deliberately wiped away to uphold the respectable facade of Roman history. Yet amidst the decay and decline of the empire, amidst the fading echoes of Rome's former glory, the tale of Elagabalus persists. Whispers of his name still linger in the crumbling ruins, a testament to the enduring power of a soul that dared to defy the boundaries of its time. Throughout history, countless emperors have risen and fallen, leaving behind legacies of conquest and decay. Yet none match the enigma of Elagabalus, the boy emperor who chose love over war, beauty over brutality. His story challenges the very fabric of Roman history, forcing us to confront the limitations of a society that seeks to define itself by the suppression of individuality. As we delve deeper into the annals of the past, we find ourselves confronted by the stark reality of Elagabalus's fate. Betrayed by those closest to him, his life was cut short, extinguished at the tender age of 8, a mere boy when the chill embrace of death enveloped him. His untimely demise not only shocked the foundations of the Roman Empire, but serves as a haunting reminder of the fragility of life itself. Yet even in death, Elagabalus refused to conform to the expectations of his time. His body, once revered as the vessel of a god, was subjected to the vilest of treatments, desecrated and discarded as if he were nothing more than an object of scorn. Such indignity underscores the depths of human cruelty, exposing the darkness that lurks within the hearts of those who seek to impose their will upon others. In the face of overwhelming adversity, we are reminded of the strength and resilience of the human spirit. For Elagabalus's story did not end with his assassination. His legacy lived on, defying the attempts of those who sought to erase him from history. Through the passage of time, his name became a symbol of courage, a beacon of hope for those who dare to challenge the status quo. The assassination of Elagabalus sent shockwaves throughout the empire, sending ripples of grief and outrage far beyond the banks of the Tiber River. The news of the young emperor's demise spread like wildfire, leaving a trail of disbelief and sorrow in its wake. People from all walks of life mourned the loss of a leader who had touched their lives in profound ways. As word of Elagabalus's betrayal and subsequent humiliation spread, a wave of revulsion and anger swept through Rome and beyond. The people were outraged by the viciousness of the attack, questioning the very core of their society and demanding justice for their fallen emperor. The assassination not only shook the foundations of the empire, but also ignited a sense of unease and fear among the populace. Amidst the sea of faces, one stood out: Julia Misa, the formidable grandmother and the true power behind the throne. Her heart hardened with grief and determination. Vowing revenge, she took swift action, determined to bring the perpetrators to justice. Mace's sharp intellect and unwavering ambition had been instrumental in guiding Elagabalus to the throne. However, now, her focus shifted to securing her own position of power and protecting the bloodline that had been so brutally disrupted. With cunning and resolve, she maneuvered through the treacherous waters of Roman politics, ensuring her grandson's legacy would live on despite the tragic circumstances of his death. However, it was not just the political ramifications that reverberated in the aftermath of Elagabalus's murder. The cultural impact of his death sent tremors through the very fabric of Roman society. Elagabalus had been a champion of artistic expression, a patron of the arts who had encouraged innovation and challenged conventional norms. His untimely demise left a void in the realm of creativity, a silence that was deafening to those who had witnessed his brilliance. The death of Elagabalus prompted a collective introspection, a soul-searching moment for a society that had grown accustomed to the excesses and decadence of the imperial court. It served as a stark reminder of the ephemeral nature of power and the importance of cherishing those who dared to defy the confines of convention. In the wake of this tragedy, the empire seemed to lose a part of its soul, leaving behind a haunting question: could Rome ever rise from the ashes of this devastating loss and find a new path forward? Only time would tell. And so the legend of Elagabalus, the boy emperor who broke the mold, continued to echo through the corridors of time. His story became a beacon for those yearning for acceptance and understanding in a world that often seeks to confine them within rigid societal norms. Thank you for watching.